Nations are built by the contributions of many, but many of us forget the public servants, those who work for governments, despite sometimes poor remuneration. A few examples of these public servants: Damilola Ogunbiyi was 28 years old when, as the first female general manager of the Lagos State Electricity Board, she supervised the building of the 5 independent power plants in Lagos State and was responsible for providing solar power to over 200 schools and primary health centers in Lagos State. Today, she is the first female managing director of the Federal Rural Electrification Agency, responsible for providing uninterrupted power to 13 federal universities and 7 teaching hospitals. This is a new project called Energizing Education, which is pioneering from the Ministry of Power Works and Housing. She started the project to provide power to Nigeria's largest markets already. The first phase of that project has been completed in the Sabungari market in Kano, and the construction phase of the Ariaria market in Aba, the construction phase of the power center in Ariaria market, has also started. Afolabi Mukwede handles the N-Power program, a major feature of the federal government's social investment policy. The program engages 200,000 graduates across all local government. Its applications come through a portal developed by Softcom, a company of young Nigerian engineers. The process of engagement goes through that platform, and millions have applied through that platform. Tochi Nwachukwu is the Special Assistant to the President on Power Privatization, responsible for transmission, doing innumerable transmission projects across the country. Ime Okon is a Senior Special Assistant to the President, advising on railways, roads, airports, and other infrastructure projects. Mariam Masha is a medical doctor, Senior Special Assistant to the President on IDPs. And with Bisi, who is Ogunbadejo, both have been working with IDPs in Maiduguri since August 2015. Recently, they have been managing a newly built learning center and a home for 1,500 orphans in Maiduguri. Mohammed Brahima works on the Northeast Humanitarian Technology Hub, where groundbreaking innovation is applied to tackle humanitarian challenges. And all of these individuals, all of them, young people working in government, young people doing creative things in governments. I've mentioned only those who are working in the federal government, and there are hundreds of others working in state governments. But often forgotten, very often forgotten, are the excellent teachers in primary and secondary schools. Take the wonderful ingenuity and dedication of Pt.4 Chigozie. She is a secondary school teacher in the FCT in Abuja. She's earned several awards for extraordinary efforts in raising our next generation. This microbiology and chemistry graduate of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, was named the best science teacher and recognized specially for exceptional performance in preparing students in the Federal Capital Territory in quiz and project exhibitions. She's also recently received another award for contributing to the 774 Young Nigerian Scientists Presidential Award competitions. As a chemistry teacher, the success rate of Pt.4 students in the past 5 years of WAEC and NECO ranged from 87% to 92%. There's also Doreen Omorigi. She's a school teacher, primary school teacher, and also now works in the secondary school from Edo State. She also works out of the Federal Capital Territory. She's a graduate of chemistry education. And she deserves this mention because of the consistent way that she goes beyond the call of duty in discharging her responsibilities. Even as a youth corper, serving in a primary school, she organized a workshop for teachers on the use of primary science kits. She was soon able to take her school towards winning the award for the first best state school in Nigeria in science. Ms. Omoregbe herself was the best science teacher in her school for 3 consecutive years. Quite remarkably, she's been able to use her knowledge in producing soap, sanitizer, and disinfectants, many of which were used even during the Ebola crisis a few years ago. It's just amazing, the incredible work that these individuals do. These are the true nation builders, the teachers, the farmers, the entrepreneurs, the public servants who work in this country. They pay their taxes, they bear the hardships, but they remain focused. They are determined. Most of them, just as Abiodun Jinodu said, are survivors. But they are determined and they are committed. They are the ones who recognize that even where change is slow, it will come. They are prepared to do their own part, day by day. Their own dreams of greatness, their hard work are the building blocks of our nation. And how about the young men and women of the police and armed forces who lay their lives on the line daily to protect us? The story of late Colonel Muhammadu Abu Ali has been told often. As commander of the 272 Task Force Battalion, his battalion was responsible for the recapture of Bama, Baga, Monguno, and later Konduga. He was decorated for bravery and excellence. He was decorated for bravery and excellence. He had become a terror to Boko Haram insurgents, but he and 4 others were killed in an ambush. He was just 36 years old, survived by a wife and 3 children. The story of the late Sergeant Chukwudi Igboko went viral when he confronted armed robbers in a daylight robbery at the Zenith Bank in Owerri, Imo State. He killed one of the robbers. But the robbery was foiled, but he and another officer, Sergeant Sunday Agbo, died of the gunshot injuries that they sustained during the attack. Both of them left wives and children. It is to these men and women who fight to defend our nation from terrorism and crime that we owe the preservation of our nationhood. Some of them do not die, they just lose their limbs, they lose their sight, they lose their hearing. The widows and widowers and children of these brave men and women bear the pain and anguish of loss by themselves for many years. And then there is the entertainment industry, whose main advantage lies in how it transcends tribe, tongue, and location to bring joy to the screens of millions of Nigerians. Think how much bliss the music videos of Clarence Peters and the best-selling comedies of Ayo Makun AY, Basket Mouth, Apororo, Chioma Emeruwa, Chigal, Fowls the Bad Guy, Funke Akindele, Jennifer, and the talented singer and comedian Kenny Black have brought to audiences at home and abroad. All of these people yeah.